So what is up guys, Mrwhosetheboss here, and welcome to my best Android launchers of 2016. If you want to know any of the widgets or icon packs used on this video, then let me know in the comments below and I'll make an upcoming video on how to customize your Android. With that being said, let's get right into it. So we're going to kick this list off with Smart Launcher, which just gets straight to the point. There is absolutely no messing around here. There's a circle of your most used apps which can be customized. There's a search bar and then there's also an app drawer, and that's it. The app drawer is well organized. It's actually split into categories and it automatically detects which category an app falls into. It could be media, it could be internet based, it could be a game, and the detection is really impressive. In fact, there's only probably 2 applications out of the 102 I've installed that I think weren't quite in the right place. Contrary to how it looks under the surface, the customization level is quite impressive, one of the most extensive I've seen. So number 2 is Apus Launcher, and this one basically has one priority, and that is customization, and in that sense the company have absolutely nailed it. The extent to which you can change the way your phone looks and feels is honestly unbelievable. You can achieve pretty much any look you can think of. It's also very easy for beginners to get started because they've got a built-in store and one click on a theme that you like the look of and it's all applied. It's really seamless. Apus Launcher is fast too and automatically sorts your apps based on what they do into handy little folders. The only thing I would say is that whilst the themes on offer are great, it doesn't tend to work too well with the conventional third-party icon packs. So then we have Nano Launcher, which is a really small size. It's a lightweight app and it's minimalism at its finest. On the default settings there's no text and it looks really clean and sharp. The Nano Launcher is basically designed to give a minimalist look, and in that sense it's very easy to achieve with pretty much no fiddling. Everything sort of snaps into place in the grid and the apps even auto-sort, so it's pretty much no hassle whatsoever. As well as that, customizing the launcher has a really structured approach, so it's pretty difficult to screw anything up, which is what I have a bit of a habit of doing on my current Nova launcher. So next up we have Apus, and this is a heavy launcher. There's more going on, there's more bloatware, but also tons more customization. It supports some beautiful fluid 3D animations, a custom news bar, and a page dedicated to making sure you never run out of stuff to read. So the level of personalization is great, but unfortunately it is quite memory and battery intensive, and it does shove a lot of ads in your face. So next up we have Lens Launcher, and for me personally it's definitely not the most practical, but it's definitely a cool idea and I could see it being useful for some people. What it does is it lays every single one of your applications out in one giant grid. That's it, there's nothing else to it. It then uses a fisheye effect so that you can select the application that you want. So there's no widgets, there's no real customization, there's no icon packs, but nonetheless I just think the idea is really cool, and once you get used to where the apps are, flying across it is a real breeze. So next up we have Yandex Launcher. Now this is a more playful but still very slick and minimalist launcher. There's less customization here than, for example, Apus, but they've left the important bits there and also added a cool few things of their own. For example, in the app drawer, something I found really useful was the ability to sort the applications based on what color their icon was. And it actually works, it's a huge time saver. You can also drag widgets into the same folders as apps, which is something which I've never really seen implemented anywhere else, but it works well here. The only problem I'd say with Yandex is that it does show a lot of recommended apps, i.e. sponsored posts. So then we have Hexy, and similar to Lens, it shows everything on one screen at once, but this time it sorts them by color. So all your red applications will be in one corner, and all your yellow in another, and so on and so forth. It doesn't support any of the typical icon packs or themes, but Hexy Launcher does look quite unique as it is. There's also a separate page for widgets. They don't really integrate very well with the front page. You just click a button from the front and that takes you to the widget page. So it feels a little bit disconnected, but it is brought together a little bit by the search bar, which integrates searches for apps, widgets, documents, messages, as well as just internet queries. So then we have Nova, and you may or may not know, this is the launcher that I use on a daily basis. I find it's fast, it's stable, and you can tweak the finer settings really well. Everything from the desktop grid and icon size to the app drawer scroll animation. It's also compatible with just about any theme or icon pack, so if you do feel like changing things up, you can do that. Having said that, the output you can produce is a little bit more restricted than something like Apus Launcher. It does have a more typical Android look to it. Number 9 is ASAP Launcher. And this is similar in a sense to Smart Launcher, it's all about productivity. Instead of widgets, because this launcher just doesn't support the standard ones, it's just got a set of pages for different things like reminders, calendar, and contacts. So one thing I really like about ASAP is that it's consistent with Google's material design. Every animation on this launcher, every icon that's initially on it, just looks and feels beautiful. Swiping in from the left on any screen can bring in the app drawer, which is quite well organized, and doing the same from the right hand side brings in the toggles, which again is super handy. Whilst it is pretty optimized and organized from the get-go, ASAP Launcher does lack a bit of customization. So the last launcher on our list today is the Solo Launcher. It's lightweight and snappy, but at the same time also customizable, so at least on the face of it, it sounds like the best of both worlds. It supports every theme and widget out there, and has a handy notification bar add-on. It's a slick launcher to use, the animations are all fast and fluid, and it's also got a very well organized app drawer. The only thing I would say is it pushes way too many ads in your face. So guys, that is the end of the video. If you've somehow managed to survive my blabbering this long, then I really appreciate it. With that being said, I will see you guys next time.